Bad entertainment. Bad entertainment. Bad entertainment.
Welcome to another Bad Entertainment Show. On tonight's show, from the Out Center of Southwest Michigan, Mary Jo, fashion designer D.W. Styles, and my exclusive interview with the mayor of Elkhart, Roberson. Here's another episode of the Bad Entertainment Show coming to you from South Bend, Indiana. And now here we go, live remote, not live remote, but a remote with the mayor's office in Elkhart, Indiana. Hey, how's it going? First time on location, a Bad Entertainment TV show on location, right here at City Hall, the beautiful city, Elkhart, Indiana. Mayor Rod Robinson. How you doing, man? Good to see you.
I'm good.
Great
Mike,
to
how
see
about
you. How's it going?
Going well.
Going well.
And pretty exciting.
Good. How's it feel? How's you getting your feet wet and everything?
Feet wet, ankles wet, knees wet, up to my waist.
Exactly.
But it feels surreal at times, but it feels natural at times, and then there are times in which it feels like everything is coming at me and I'm drinking water through a fire hose.
Right, man, I can't imagine how that would feel. You miss everybody over there at Church Community Services?
I do, but you know, I've had a moment or two to be able to go over, and I'm working on a couple of projects with them. I think that that experience helped me more so than not.
Exactly.
To be prepared for what I'm doing now. They have. It's a wonderful organization and agency, and I was just blessed to spend 6 years there.
Yeah, we do a food drive for them. We still do that food drive. That's the first time I met you. Was our very first food drive.
Yep, we were at the ice rink.
Yeah,
ice rink.
Yeah, we still do it every year. Bad Entertainment.
Thank you.
What are some of your plans moving forward to move the city of Elkhart forward? What are some of the things you guys? What do you got in the pot? What do you got cooking?
It's interesting. There's a lot of things going on. Obviously, I mean, I was blessed to be able to come in at a time in which we were seeing progress on movement downtown.
Mm-hmm.
There was a group that was working to bring back our famed youth center, Tolson Park.
Mm-hmm.
There are multiple different efforts around the city to ensure that we are working to build a framework to train and with apprenticeship and mentoring programs, work to build out a strategic plan for diversification of our business model, and being able to find the appropriate use for land that's here. For people who don't know much about Elkhart, it is a very typical Midwestern legacy city, we call it. So it's transitioning from manufacturing usages that occurred 100 years ago to a more practical way to build products without having a carbon footprint, to be able to move to a place where we can find and attract a different array of talent and people, and thereby businesses and services. So we are evolving into what we're going to become, and having discussions about all of the things that I just said had been going on, and I had been taking part in a few of them when I was with CCS, Church Community Services, and when I was with Elkhart Community Schools. And now I get a chance to be at the forefront of some of those changes moving forward. So we will see a reimagined Tolson Center. I think probably a few days prior to you sitting down with me, the City Council has just approved an appropriation that will be used for a $10 million facility right there in a place where we need it the most.
Great.
And we have some projects like the River District that has taken shape and form, and we're talking to a couple of corporations about locating their corporate headquarters there. We have the aquatic center that's open and that's above their goals on membership as we speak, and are providing a level of service to the community that we hadn't seen before. We have the Illinois State Championship swim meet that will be here in a couple of weeks at the Aquatic Center, and that will be our first test of bringing thousands of people into Elkhart and be able to hopefully have them shop and spend overnights and be a part of our community and see it at a different level. So,
Oh, that's great.
so we're pretty excited about where we come and where we can go, but we have to kind of work hard to get there.
Yeah, because I know, like you just said, people coming in from out of town and everything, spending nights shopping downtown. Because I know the floodgates open every year with the Jazz Fest. I mean, the floodgates really open up here, and a lot of people come and have a good fun and a lot of good music, a lot of good food every year. And speaking of festivals, we just talked about the business part. Rhapsody and different festivals, the Jazz Fest, we're gonna see any new developments in there, or we're gonna stay what we got working, because it's working great. Rhapsody and the Blues Fest is just.
Well, I'm obviously open to all ideas because that's how we got to where we are. But those festivals that we've had in the funnel thus far, I'd like to continue under my administration. I think that Rhapsody occurred, I don't know, I think we're about 30, 40 years in with Rhapsody. And we're the same in with the Jazz Fest. And so that has happened in previous administrations, and I think it will continue. I know it will continue in ours.
Good.
But we want to also make sure that we are evolving with the kind of festivals that bring everyone downtown. And so I just met with the Downtown Merchants Association just this morning, and we talked about some of the things that we can do in order to enhance what we do, so that we can make sure that there's an invitation for everyone that lives on the outlying neighborhoods to be able to come downtown for these festivals as we attract people from out of town.
Exactly.
So I'm pretty excited about some of the things that we can do. We just got to make sure that we put on a thought on how do we connect?
Yeah.
How do we connect with neighborhoods? How do we connect with different cultures? How do we connect multi-generationally? All of those things are a part of how we'll move in the future.
Great. The police department, fire department, those guys all doing good over there. Again, thank you guys for your service. We appreciate you so much. Our fire department, our police department, everything's going fine with those guys?
Yeah, I mean, our emergency services are a pretty good group. They've worked hard in creating a reputation that kind of lives in the city. We have to work harder at making sure that we continue to do so. I am a firm believer. When I was on city council for the 16 years that I was on city council, I knew how important our first responders were, and how the police department has to be crafted to not just keep us safe, but give us a perception of safety.
Exactly.
We will work hard to make sure that that's being done in all of our communities. No matter who you are, no matter what zip code you live in, you should have a good modicum of accountability and service, and we want to make sure that that occurs, even better and broader than what it has in the past, which has been relatively good to begin with. So I'm excited about it.
I know you just got here, and your seat's not even warm yet. You're a new mayor and everything, but did Mayor Pete give you some inspiration? Did he set the blueprint? Do you see yourself going down there, heading towards DC?
I'm not quite sure what you meant by that. I'm trying to figure out how you making those gestures. But if you mean, do I have any intent on running for the presidency?
Yeah.
I would say no, I do not. I would say I can appreciate the thought. I'm very flattered and humbled. But no, I believe that I am an ideal fit for this position because I'm from Elkhart. I know many people in Elkhart. My family helped to make me feel as though I was part of this community. Even when I left for 20 years, I always took Elkhart with me. So to be back home doing what I'm doing is beyond measure as we speak, and we have a whole lot of work to do here. And I know that may sound cliche-ish, But I truly believe that we were and are right on the cusp of doing some great things. And I want to make sure that we create the kind of connections so that everyone can enjoy the benefits of the fruits of that.
Great.
And so now I'm an Elkhart. I'm the Elkhart mayor, and that's okay with me.
Right. At the end of your administration, at the end of your tenure, you're riding off into the sunset. You want to look back and say, "We did that." What would you say?
We provided a level of service that the city has never seen before. We created a sense of bringing back community, that we built a place where Elkhart feels as one. And if I have anything to do with that, because I realize that if all of those things happen, then all of the other things that people can see will be done as well. Because you can't do those things unless you are collaborating and partnering with people at a much broader and expansive level. And so if we want to see the attraction of people that are going to help attract businesses to the area, if we want to see educational values or educational levels obtained, and the obtainment of educational levels is higher than what we are, grow. If we want to see housing values grow, if we want to see neighborhoods feel like they are safe all the time, not just when you wake up and when you go to work, but while you're asleep. All of those things come from a community working together, and if I have anything to do with that, then I would be very pleased to ride off in the sunset and say that was done.
Great, great. Thank you so much for sitting down with me today. We're going to get out of your hair. We know you're a very busy man. Once again, this is Michael Wells, the Bad Entertainment TV show, here with Elkhart's Mayor Rod Roberson. We'll be right back after these messages.
Coming out in 5, 4, 3.
Hey everybody, how's it going? It's your boy Michael Wells here, the Bad Entertainment Show. That was a very fun interview last Wednesday with Rod, the mayor from Elkhart. Very cool guy. I met him when he was in charge of church community services. We've stayed in touch since then. We've done stuff. Very cool guy. I love sitting around talking to him. So that was a lot of fun. We did that last Wednesday, and we were playing around and everything. So very cool guy. Very good future for the Elkhart, and it's going to be a good time. So thank you guys for that. Thank you, Mr. Robson, for that interview. We really appreciate it. But right now we got Mary Jo here in the studio with me from the Out Center of Southwest Michigan in Benton Harbor, my hometown, Benton Harbor, Michigan. What up, Mary Jo? How's it going?
It's going really well,
Good.
really well. Can't
Good.
complain.
Good.
We're doing a lot of good work in this little corner of Michigan that we're serving, and in kind of difficult times, to be honest.
Exactly.
But really making some headway at a time when you think maybe it would be tough for an LGBTQ community organization to do so in a mostly rural area.
Yeah.
So I have to say I'm very proud of where we're at. I'm very proud of what we've accomplished and the work we continue to do.
What are some of the things that you guys help with the community?
Well, we provide emotional services, support services, counseling, but we also are working in a very interesting way with area schools. We find that in urban, or I should say rural areas, a lot of the hub of community life is within the community schools. And so when we think about the LGBT community, we think about the vulnerability of the youth. And if we are working with schools in rural areas, it's an important opportunity to educate the larger community as well and develop empathy and compassion for the beautiful diversity of all humanity. And we're actually succeeding, so I'm very happy about that work.
I was talking to my dancers about 6 months ago now, and I told them I'm very happy where the world is today. My dancers' age, they're from age 7 to 18. That age range don't really see color. They really don't like labels, And I'm like, you guys, I say, you guys just don't understand. I said, I hate to sound like I'm 197 years old. I said, but back in the 80s, there was titles, and MTV did specials about, prejudice and everything. And I said, I'm really happy where you guys are at nowadays. I'm like, RuPaul and Laverne Cox.
Yeah.
I'm like, it is, and Ellen. Well, Ellen's been around forever, but now, she was,
Right.
in the 80s and died down. Now she's back relevant again. I said, I'm just so happy
Yeah.
where everything is at
Yeah.
nowadays.
I can't agree more. I think the struggle that a lot of kids are having is we were, and we continue to be, on a forward path towards equality and equity. And yet there's this stuff up in the federal universe that's really kind of attacking LGBTQ people. And yet in small town America, like St. Joe, county seat of Berrien County, we worked with them to pass the first non-discrimination ordinance protecting LGBTQ from employment discrimination, housing discrimination, and public accommodation discrimination. And it's the first town in the Tri-County area of Berrien, Cass, and Van Buren that we serve to do so. State of Michigan is kind of a complicated state.
Yeah.
And we're not specifically protected in the State Civil Rights Act. So for a town like St. Joe to step up and do this was phenomenal. But I'll tell you something, it happened because civic folks got involved and got elected to the city commission and went about educating not only the public, but city staff, opening up hearts and minds. So it's phenomenal that all of this stuff is going on up here, and yet in a rural, or mostly rural area, a city like St. Joe really steps up for their LGBTQ residents.
And that's saying a lot, because like I said, I'm from Benton Harbor. My wife and I, class of '85, Benton Harbor High. I just dated myself. And back then, the thing was, the bridge that separated us to, Benton Harbor, 98% black, St. Joe, 98% white, and I'm glad to see all that's gone now. That's water under the bridge. Hey, the bridge water.
Yeah. Well, I think we still struggle a bit in terms of the difference in schools. That's really devastating. But we also have someone like Dr. Lynn Todman, who's on the city commission, and a phenomenal woman, the first African American, I think, definitely the first African American woman to be on the St. Joe City Commission, doing phenomenal work in these areas. So I do think there's a lot left we have to do on behalf of the kids of Benton Harbor, absolutely, specifically school, but there are newer people involved, right?
Great.
That represent a diversity and understand what has to be done.
Great.
So yes, the conversations are getting larger and more impactful, and I'm very kind of honored to be a part of the larger movement in
great.
Southwest Michigan.
Great. And you guys are non-for-profit, so you guys take donations, and
Yes.
people do fundraisers for you guys, don't they?
Yes.
Like Bad Entertainment's doing a fundraiser for you.
It's coming up Friday, April 24th at 7 p.m. at the Oak Room at the Citadel, right around the corner from the Out Center located on 132 Water Street. There will be performers and a meal, all for $20 a person. Really amazing stuff. To find out more and buy tickets, call the Out Center at 269-934-5633 or email us at info@outcenter.org.
And you can also get your tickets on eventbrite.com
Yes.
for this event. And also the Bad Entertainment pages, the Dance Teams page, my page, our Instagram page, all the info is on that page. It's going to be a great night. My singer's going to be there. My dancer's going to be there. Tons of food, great organization, Bad Entertainment killing it. We're going back home to Benton Harbor. Mary Jo, thank you so much for coming on our TV show. I appreciate it. And I will see you in April at the fundraising event.
Sounds good. Thank you so much for bringing me on
Thank you
board.
so much. You guys, we'll be right back after this. Guys, here's another live remote for the Bad Entertainment TV show. This is Michael Wells here. We're live in Indianapolis. Tremaine Dance 2020 Legacy Tour. We had a phenomenal time last night. It's Sunday morning. Still got some classes going on. Competition last night. My dancers killed it. Our first time ever in a dance competition. Our little junior Camry got second place. Fifth place overall. Phenomenal job. Our boy Jack, solo, first place. Good going, Jack. And the dance team, second place. Group category, hip hop. Thank you, thank you, thank you. They did a great job last night. Once again, this is Michael Wells live, Tremaine live, down here in Indianapolis, the Bad Entertainment TV show, coming at you. And we're back, the Bad Entertainment show. You guys probably noticed there's a couple of trophies sitting beside me. You know, we never had trophies in the studio before. My dancers, we just got back from our first ever dance competition down in Indy with Tremaine. And if you know anything about the dance community, Tremaine is beyond out of this atmosphere of what you want to be. And my dancers, they just killed it. Our first time ever at dance competition. The dance team itself got second place in hip hop. My little 7-year-old, Camry, she killed it. She got second place hip hop and fifth place overall out of everybody in her category. And my man Jack, he was on the last show. He was one of the backup dancers for Alyssa Blair. He got first place, hip hop, freestyle. It was so much fun down in Indy. So that's I brought those trophies in. There's more trophies floating out there. The other ones got their trophies and everything. But right now, you better work. Anybody get that reference? You better walk the runway. We got D.W. Styles in here, fashion design extraordinaire. You know, thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Thanks for having
So
me.
what do you got going on nowadays?
So it's we're moving. We got a couple things going on. April 19th at 5 p.m. We're doing a fashion show here in South Bend, Indiana. It's at Rio Event Park. Yeah, Rio Event Park. Rio Event Park. It's 3028 East Mishawaka Avenue. Again, that's 5 p.m. Come out and check us out. It'll be a pretty dope event. Don't miss it.
Yeah, because these guys, I invited D.W. Styles to be on the TV show, and I'm looking at his pictures. I'm like, where I know this guy from? Last year at Art Beat, they were on right before my dance team, and man, those models walking up on that stage, I'm like, you guys really don't have a clue. You gotta see his stuff. You gotta like his Facebook, his Instagram, whatever he's got, his Twitter, everything he's got. You guys got to like that. I mean, it's mind blowing. My wife was taking down notes and stuff and about to spend money and everything. I mean, it's just what is some of your inspiration for your designs?
I would say from a very early age, my dad was a really inspiration. He would paint a house in all white and wouldn't get messy. So that was a pretty good inspiration for me. His clothing was always something different. My dad back in the 80s was wearing tunics. Nobody wears tunics in the 80s. Like, what are you doing, man? People would see him. He would solicit the people that own the gas stations, any Indian guy he would meet. He'd be like, where'd you get that from? So that was a lot of my inspiration. But now I found my way to some African fabrics, and it kind of just drove me inspiration crazy. And that's pretty much been the history of it. It was nothing I can see something nowadays and I can make it. I taught myself to sew about 3 or 4 years ago. So that was pretty interesting. But inspiration, I could be sitting on the couch with my soon-to-be wife, and I'll see something and I'll be like, or think of something, and I just go downstairs and make something. So I think everything inspires me. Home life, work life, my friends, family. everything. I mean, if you pay attention to what your path and your purpose is, then you can gain inspiration from anywhere. I mean, I'm probably gonna go home and make something from here.
Well, I tell you what, I always wanted the Bad Entertainment dance team to have their own line of clothing.
Well,
I'm just saying.
I currently work with some manufacturers in Pakistan, so I mean, we can make it happen. I'm down for it. I love partnering.
Yeah, because our company colors are red and white and black. The dominant colors are red and white,
Yeah.
and it's red, white, and black. So yeah, we might need to talk after the show or next
No,
week
let's
or something.
talk. We don't need
Because I've
to.
always
Let's
wanted
do
that.
it.
I've always wanted the dancers to have their own. You know, where y'all get that from? We got our clothing designer. You can't get it.
I just currently actually branded with help to brand 2 different clothing lines like here recently, and just got we got packages in our living room right now from a clothing line.
And see,
That's not
you
mine.
know, fashion design, what you do, dance, what I do. Like you said, your dad was a painter, chefs, cooks. People don't realize that's art.
It is
You know,
art.
it's part of art. And Art Beat every year, you know, with the
Right.
city of South Bend, you know, you'll see all that. You'll see dancers. You'll see fashion designers.
Come see me at RB.
Yeah, I mean, you'll see all that stuff down there, and it's all an art because sometimes with me with the dance team, it's all about hard hitting energy,
Right.
making the audience have a good time. But every once in a while, like this year, we're working on something. My wife came up with a great idea. It's a song out there, Lucas Graham, 7 years, and it like goes. She's like, you need to have the dancers do your dance life. So see, every once in a while we'll get arty like that. I've never been an
That sound
arty
like
choreographer, yeah. You know, but you know, and your designs, like you say, you'll be sitting around and just, you know, something to pop in your head. And chef, you watch certain chefs, Gordon Ramsay, all those guys.
Right.
You like, and my wife said all the time, that's too pretty to eat. You know, and it's an art. It's an
Right.
art to it. And I think
is.
we're starting to lose some of that too in school stuff. Have you ever been? Has fashion ever been part of a high school that you know of, or is that like a college? You know?
You mean for me, did I ever do it in high
Yeah.
school? No, you know what? Actually, when I was in high school, we had a project with one of my teachers, and I talked my counterparts into making a clothing line, and we named it that. And I had forgot about that until right now, but it was our initials. It was myself was Darius, Atia, and one of my friends named Tanil. We're still friends to this day, but we made a clothing line called that. And it's so interesting that you would ask me that, and it just came to my mind. So I guess it has always been a part of my makeup. It's my purpose. It's what I'm supposed to be doing.
So where can our viewers find you? On YouTube, on Instagram, and
YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. If you type in DW Styles, you'll find me.
you guys check him out. Trust me, you want to check out his stuff. Check it out. You'll see us all at Art Beat coming up soon with the city of South
Coming to
Bend.
Art Beat.
This is the Bad Entertainment Show, and we are actually done. We're done. We will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.